because there's a number that I want to share with you, and you may have seen it on this slide here, and this is the 10,000 hours. How many of you all heard of the 10,000 hour principle? Right? This was developed by Eric Anderson, who is a Swedish psychologist. It was popularized by Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers. And what Malcolm Gladwell suggested is that in order for you to become proficient, an expert, a master at anything, you need to have 10,000 hours of dedicated, deliberate practice. And if you have 10,000 hours of dedicated, deliberate practice, it then allows you to step into the realm of mastery. So if you want to master the violin, you need about 10,000 hours. If you want to master day trading, you need about 10,000 hours. If you want to master, roller skating and Olympics is coming in a couple of years. I have a daughter, my 8-year-old, who wants to go to the Olympics to do skateboarding. But she's like, I want to be in the Olympics for skateboarding. She needs to put in 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours represents around 5 years if you anticipate that there's about 2,000 working hours in every year. So the amount of time that you work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, around 2,000 working hours a year, that's about 5 years, 10,000 hours. So in order for you to master and to then go on to the next level, it takes about 10,000 hours, 5 years. There's another number I want to share with you. And that number, following the same math, is 42,000 hours. 42,000 hours is the amount of time it takes you to go from, studies show, to go from frontline, entry-level position to senior C-suite level leadership. About 42,000 hours of work. That represents about 20 years. I'm curious, Payman, how many years were you working prior to stepping into your senior C-suite level role, whether it's COO or SVP, where you currently are? About 20 years. My friend over here, COO, tell me your name one more time. Joseph. How long for you? 20 years. My work here is done. 20 years. Roughly 42,000 hours. And so it looks something like this. 10,000 hours is where we're spending time just figuring out things, getting good at things, putting in the time required in order for us to master. But then after those 10,000 hours, it takes an additional 30 plus 32,000 hours before we step into that senior C-suite, COO, SVP level leadership. Now, the green and the yellow is great, but everyone in this room, the majority of us, are in the red. And in the red is what we call the messy middle. Just turn to your person next to you and say, you're in the messy middle. You're in the messy middle. Joseph is not in the messy middle. Payman is not in the messy middle. Right? You and I, we are in the messy middle. What is the messy middle? I gave my own definition of it. The messy middle is where you're expected to meet impossible targets, keep your team happy, handle staffing shortages, resolve patient complaints, manage up, manage down, and somehow still remember to decrease missed meals and breaks. Welcome to the messy middle. This is where we are. And overtime. Oh, I forgot overtime. Decrease missed meals and breaks and overtime. Yes. Right? This is our work. It's essentially high accountability, low authority. And I'm not suggesting that burnout doesn't happen on the front line, because there's a lot of frontline nurses, frontline physicians, frontline doctors who are burnt out. And I'm not suggesting that burnout and stress and exhaustion doesn't happen at the C-suite level, because there's probably a lot of SVPs and COOs and regional leaders who are exhausted, burnt out, and frustrated. But for the rest of us, we are stuck in the middle. And this is where a lot of burnout and frustration and exhaustion happens. And on some level, we may feel like we're trying to survive the messy middle. But I don't want to frame it around surviving the messy middle, because this is not surviving. I don't want you all to be in the messy middle and you put in your 30,000 hours and you're like, oh, I barely made it out, right? and you just drag your way to retirement or drag your way into the next level. It's not about surviving the messy middle as much as I want to talk about how do we lead through the messy middle, and then really how do we master the messy middle.